Sonic Frontiers gameplay continues to get criticism, and one of the developers has responded and says that we just don't understand what we're looking at. I'm going to try to be charitable about this interview. I don't want to rip it out of context. We're going to look at the interview. We're also going to look at brand new footage released by Game Informer. Game Informer released a video of a boss fight. We're going to break that down. We've really enjoyed looking at the Sonic gameplay with you guys, so hit subscribe and the bell button. I try to put all my thoughts right here at the beginning so you don't have to go searching for them. This is a Reforge update. Sonic Frontiers gameplay criticism is basically about not understanding the game, at least that's according to one of the developers who sat down and did some interviews recently. We're going to look at the quotes, try to make this a productive video because many of us have felt that the Sonic Frontiers gameplay has been pretty lackluster and unimpressive. If you like these quick updates, be sure to hit subscribe and the bell button and check out Reforge Gaming where I stream live. So according to GameRant.com, despite fans calling for Sonic Frontiers to be delayed to 2023, Sony, the Sonic team, is confident enough in releasing the game later this year. It's actually pretty funny that we're, maybe for the first time ever, seeing fans say, hey, delay the game, take your time, but they are calling for it. I was one of the ones that said this might get the sort of Sonic movie treatment. They'll delay it, and then they will actually have a much better result after the fact. Now, calls for the delay is after weeks of criticism leveraged as Sonic Frontiers gameplay, Sonic team head Takashi Iizuka has now responded and says that the Sonic team has no desire to delay Frontiers and that fans just, quote, don't understand the game. So the initial announcement was a while ago, actually. Sonic Frontiers was first announced during the Sonic Central presentation in June of 2021, but was formally showcased under the title at the Game Awards of 2021. And they basically just revealed it was going to be an open world take on Sonic the Hedgehog, very much inspired by Breath of the Wild. Now, we waited a long time for a reveal. So it was, talked about in June of 2021. They reveal it's going to be an open world game at the Game Awards, and then after that reveal, Sega went quiet regarding the title until June of 2022, where it revealed the first look at gameplay as part of IGN First. Now, this gameplay presentation was immediately met with criticism due to the game's strange and unpolished-looking art direction and a lack of context regarding the gameplay that was shown. We have done our absolute best to cover this and be fair to it, while also saying there's some pretty minor things they could just do to the aesthetic alone to make it look and feel more like a Sonic game. So, Takashi Iizuka did some interviews recently, including one with VGC, where he responded to criticism, stating, "It's not really that surprising. We do realize everyone is just kind of reacting to the videos that they saw, and because they don't understand what this new gameplay is, they're kind of comparing it to other games that they already know." So he's essentially saying you don't really understand what you're seeing. This is a new take on Sonic. Not only is it a new take on Sonic, apparently it's a new take on open world games. He said, and really, the team is going out and creating this new game format for Sonic, and we're calling it an open zone format, and this new game system itself is something that doesn't really exist in any other comparable titles. So we really hope that from here until launch, we can really explain what open zone gameplay is. I'm all ears. I'd love to see a better breakdown and explanation of what exactly they mean. Even if you really explain what an open zone is, that doesn't make the gameplay better, less clunky. It's kind of slow. Also, just the graphical style and the colors. We have a short that we'll upload very soon just showing what happens when you increase the saturation. We did it live on YouTube with OBS, and it immediately looked better, okay? Now, according to internal reviews, the game's doing just fine. This is from Takashi. Frontiers is in development now, and actually we've been doing a lot of playtesting with our target audience, who would be in that demographic of someone who would play a Sonic game and enjoy it. Alright, Iizuka claims that the game is doing well with internal reviews, achieving scores of 80 to 90 out of 100, with the team hoping that this will reflect the actual scores the game will receive. So listen, just my thoughts very quickly. Feedback is because this looks like a tech test, not because we don't understand it, okay? The game has issues within the videos themselves, okay? There's pop-in, there's slowness, there's a blandness to the world itself. We don't necessarily need to understand the game's POV or what an open zone is to look at the footage and say, it just doesn't look that good. You put out a video that looked like a tech test, it didn't look polished, and it looked kind of rough. That's on you. That's not on us to understand it, okay? If internal demos are being well received, that's great, okay? Early access reviews are a bit mixed. One recently said there was almost nothing to like about the game. Others are praising it and saying that it is good. Probably going to be a pretty split response, okay? Could this be a case of too much evolution or game buffet syndrome? Game buffet syndrome is basically Biomutant, where you're grabbing from every game, every system, every idea you could possibly think of and jamming it into your game, thus diluting its identity and making it feel bland, even though there's lots on the table. As always, if you like these quick updates, head over to Reforge Gaming to watch my live streams, hit subscribe and the bell button, and I'll see you in the next video. And I'll see you guys right now. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. We'll be taking a look at that new Sonic Frontiers gameplay in a moment. Let's get our first 100 likes. Make sure you are on live chat. We only need 24 more likes. Go through your usual morning rituals. We will also be covering today the PS Plus update. How do you do it? What's it look like? I'll give you a whole walkthrough. We'll take a glance at it. We'll give our thoughts on everything that's in there, how it's positioned, how it's packaged. We will also be covering the Xbox Extended Showcase today. There are only like 4 or 5 games worth playing. I'm not going to pay extra for that. They need to give us day one games. Not 3-year-old games already on Plus, so cheap and disrespectful. You're going to have to hold that under your hat. We're not talking about that right now. I don't want you derailing the topic like 2 minutes into the show, please. We are talking Sonic, all right? And this is the new gameplay here. This is the boss fight. I do think this looks better, all right? Okay, he beat him. Let me rewind it for you. All right, I do think this looks marginally better than what we've seen, but again, no one was criticizing the gameplay because we were confused about context or like what the game is. We were criticizing the gameplay because it looked like a tech test, right? It reads as an insult. You don't know what you're seeing. You don't know what you are seeing. Don't be so reactionary. Your game looks weird and not a Sonic game. Don't speak like open world biomes are not in game. Yo, good morning, Hilly. The Sonic devs sound like my daughter supporting her latest art project. You just don't understand it, Dad. You don't understand my vision, right? Sonic Frontiers has sick combat. It's amazing, and the graphics. I think the combat looks fine. I don't think the combat looks particularly great. There are elements of it that feel like animations aren't quite polished yet. Sections like this with platforming and kind of like the rail riding and the predetermined jump paths. See, that looks faster than stuff we've seen, right? That rail ride did look a little bit faster, like they are maybe going and looking at some of the... that looks faster than stuff we've seen. He looks way faster in this footage than the stuff we've seen, like they already have sped him up. That was not how he did that earlier. When we watched the footage last week, it did not look like that. They've already seemingly increased his speed on rail grinding and just flat out running. How many Sonic games have you played? I've played a handful when I was at somebody else's house. Yeah, this looks faster too. All of this looks faster than the other day. What's good, Feed? How are you? Good to see you in the chat. Good morning, Skiffy Skiffles. This looks better this looks better, but I've been a fan since day one. Sonic was the first game I ever touched. Doesn't mean I'm going to bank on this being a return to glory, though. I will say that this footage does look better. I will say that. I think the initial response was because the initial footage that they revealed, it was just so incredibly rough. It literally looked like a tech test. It's probably because they're showing us fresh new clips, but they're not fully finished for further gameplay. Okay, so here's the thing. They did one thing that I liked, but then they're doing something else that I don't like. So first let me say what they did that I liked. I like that they spoke to us last year announced it in June, showed a brief idea of like, hey, it'll be an open world game at the Game Awards, and we're looking at the game launching basically a year later. I actually really, really like that. I think that's what developers should be doing. I think they should be announcing and showcasing and debuting games a lot closer to their launch date, right? However, what I don't like that they did is when they finally came down out of their ivory tower, they finally come down to the public and say, hey, we're going to show you what the game looks like. You bring rough footage. Excuse me. You bring rough footage. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't tell me that I don't understand the footage when you showed up with something really, really rough. Like, if you're coming to me and you want me to invest in your project, right? You're coming to me and you want me to invest in your project. You want me to back your product or whatever the heck you're trying to do, okay? If you came to me with a super rough concept, you'd have to know out of the gate, I'm going to be way less likely to care or invest because I'm like, it's just kind of rough, okay? When you're trying to make that first impression, you want to have something that looks really, really good. If you've ever seen like business proposals or, you know, proof of concept presentations where they're showing off some new thing, they make sure that it looks really, really good. Everything's polished, the branding, the packaging, they all want it to feel really, really great. And already this looks more lush and more well-designed and more polished than the first footage that they released. So again, and look, there's more pop-in. Like, look at the draw distance here. Look at that arch he's about to approach on the left. Watch. Ding, 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 ding. See what I'm saying? You released rough footage. Don't tell me I don't understand. That looked bad. That literally looked bad. It's right there. It's not super far away. And it's popping in. It looked like some little invisible ghost built the bridge for you. It was like bing, 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 bing. Oh, there's something that wasn't there 2 seconds ago. You know what I'm saying? The whole thing seems weird. What just happened? The whole thing seems incredibly odd. Okay, we're all right. My dashboard just refreshed. I was like, what is going on? Unfiltered, unscripted, raw, honest reactions are the best. I honestly think Sonic Frontiers looks very concerning. Yeah, so basically the reason for the thumbnail is the fans were calling for this game to be delayed. Like, in a stunning turn of events, we actually have, you know, gamers are saying, hey, we would like to we would like for you to delay your game, okay? So here's the boss. This boss he deals with incredibly quickly as well. It's kind of strange. So he gets one hit. Ooh, he gets kind of wrecked there. So he got greedy. He got a little too greedy. The world looks so dead. Well, and that's fine as long as there's stuff to do. I mean, there are parts of Breath of the Wild that look incredibly dead. You know, there's parts of Breath of the Wild that look incredibly dead. So they replay that footage at the end. Imagine Izuka actually listening to make a better product. I could understand being like, hey, we tried something new and people just don't get it yet. We need more time to have a better showcase, right? We need more time to get the product and to polish it and to really explain what the footage means. I could understand that aspect. But you're not listening to the criticisms if that's what you think the problem is. If you think you need more time to explain what open zone gameplay is, right? If you think you need more time to do that's not the issue, right? When was the last Sonic that was positively received? Oh, I don't know. Usually when he shows up in other games, right? Like Mario Sonic Olympics was a pretty well received game. It's actually a good little game. I play with my kids every now and again. And the issue again was that you released rough footage. It looked like a technical test. Again, this footage right here already looks better. Why? What did you change? What did you do? Watch how fast he hits this thing. That's so much faster than the first time we watched this. Is that because the person who captured the footage didn't know what they were doing? Did you speed the game up? Did they unlock something? Look how much faster he runs here. That's night and day from the first time we saw the game. So I'm sitting here as somebody who's covered the game. This is the third time now I'm covering this game, and I'm sitting here telling you I do not have a firm grasp on what exactly you've shown us. I've seen 3 different gameplay footage pieces, and they all look dramatically different. They all look different in speed and execution. This is about the same speed as the first time we watched it. That's about the same. The other footage was way faster. Fans, dear devs, we are formally requesting you delay this game. The devs, we get it, you want it ASAP. Wait, what? Delay the game, please. Right? How often has that happened? If you're just tuning in, we're checking out brand new footage of Sonic Frontiers gameplay. Recently, a developer said that a lot of the criticism is rooted in the fact that we don't necessarily understand the game or what we're looking at. I take some issue with what he said, because the issue doesn't seem to me to be that we don't understand it. It's that you released very, very rough footage, to the extent that, like, this footage now looks different than the footage we've already seen, and it's just been a matter of weeks. It's just been a matter of weeks. Ooh, that coffee is right at the right spot. Guys, if you haven't done so yet, go through your morning ritual, switch over to live chat, smash the like button. If you've recently started following the channel through all the Summer Game Fest coverage, thank you. If it's your first time here this morning, let me pause the gameplay. I'm usually in this scene having a conversation in a talk show, but we've been doing a lot of gameplay breakdowns. We did a Starfield gameplay breakdown yesterday, as well as Diablo 4. And so I'm usually down in the corner like this, commentating and asking for your response. So, Sonic gameplay new footage. Does this look any better? Yes or no? Real easy poll today. Sonic gameplay new footage. Does this look any better? What are your thoughts based on what we've seen so far? Does this look like an improvement? Now, I will say this fight actually looks better than some of the fights we've seen. You know, again, so much of the fighting seems scripted. Let me go all the way back to the beginning here. So much of the fighting just seems so scripted. It's like it's riddled with little quick time events or something. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? It doesn't seem like I'm doing anything. Okay, so he does that, and all of this just seems prefab. Just you hit, and then you go wham, 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 backflip, hit, wham, 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 backflip. It seems very prefab in the animations, like you're not necessarily in control. Now, I like that. I like that dash away. That looked more like he was in control. The circle around does pop them up. We know that causes a little bit of damage. Okay, so now he's in pursuit. And there's like blaster worms coming out, and he gets hit by one, hit by a second. Man, he gets dissed there, absolutely dissed. So he goes above the spinning thing, and again, that look at all that. That looked all prefab, and then he ends up getting hurt because of the animation, okay? So he goes in, he does this, and then he does this, and then he just drops. Now, that could be the player making a mistake. That could be the person capturing the footage running out of stamina, so they didn't have enough to dash away. But that slow animation finisher, and then not having a frame to, like, dodge away, that, again, that could be on the player. That could be them struggling with the basics of combat, because he did do one dash away earlier in the footage. Now, this footage, this looks completely different than what we've seen so far. There's more on the ground. It feels more lush and full of stuff. The objects don't feel so randomly placed. They feel like there's a little bit more of intentionality in their placement, and there's just more stuff on the ground. There's more grass, there's more, foliage, there's some flowers that he runs through over here, and then he kind of runs through an enemy. So this looks slightly better than stuff that we've seen, but it doesn't last long, because then we see insane pop-in in a matter of moments here. You just don't understand what you're looking at. I just don't get it. This looks much better, says Sony Kent, but there's something off. Yeah, there it is. There's the pop-in. Watch the bridge. Okay, I'm going to take my mouse over here. You see the bridge in front of the waterfall? Okay? This again. Why did you release this footage? Or why'd you release it like this? Watch. You ready for the pop-in? Blum, 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 blum. Now, what is that? It's not even that far away. It's not even that many items. It's just a couple of platforms. Now, is that something that the game is doing? Like, are there platforms being generated? I mean, is that something? No, there's more right there. There's more right there. Look at this mountain. All right, right here on the side of the mountain, there's nothing, okay? There's nothing on the side of the mountain. And, now we got this little ball, and now we got this little platform. Why did you release this footage? Don't tell me I don't understand it. There's another platform. Why are those? It doesn't make any sense to me. Pop-in's here to stay, methinks. I guess. Lono, just admit it. Your feeble mind can't comprehend this brilliant gameplay. Listen, I could understand if he took issue with people asking, like, why is it open world, okay? Or why does it look photorealistic? Those are things that we don't necessarily understand right now, right? Those are things that we don't necessarily understand right now. We don't know why it looks photorealistic. We don't know where Sonic is right now. We don't know what an open zone gameplay is. We don't know any of that. That's fine. But why does the game perform like this? It doesn't even feel like it's that graphically intensive. You shouldn't have Pop-in 20 yards away. I can understand if you got on some big, huge, wide open landscape and something way out in the distance popped in, right? I could totally see that being a thing. I totally could. Be like, you know what? Excuse me. That's super far away. That's going to be unlikely that I'm even going to be paying attention to something that far away. It's going to be unlikely it's going to happen all that often. But the pop-in happens so close to the character, it's immediately immersion breaking. The photorealism most likely falls in line with the current movies, in my opinion, says Fozzie. He's got to go fast. Well, there are elements of this gameplay. So if you're just tuning in, we're checking out Sonic Frontiers gameplay. There's a boss fight. There's more to it than that. There's brand new gameplay in this footage, and I actually think it does look better. I think he looks faster at times. I think it looks more enjoyable. I think they've actually improved from what we saw the first time, right? We saw footage that seemed very bland and very slow. And they've actually put, I think, better footage in this little montage. This is on Game Informer, so thank you, obviously, Game Informer, for the footage. We like to grab footage wherever it's new and break it down. So this section here looks better, all right? So he's going to come up around, and he's going to get on a platform. We've seen him run this before. Look how much faster that rail slide is, all right? And then he hits this. Now, obviously, this, you don't want to be climbing with Sonic. Like, that's not necessarily what I have in mind. Look how much faster he is running here. Look at that. He didn't run this fast in the first footage. So it's like, did he get a skill? Is he unlocked skill trees? Does this person actually know how to play? Was the other person playing clueless? Were they not holding down the run button? Like, I don't know. It looks fun. Open zones make sense. Surely the graphical issues will be fixed before release. Listen, I'm not going to overstate Pop-in and act like it's a game breaker. I'm not, okay? I'm not going to overstate Pop-in. Be like, yeah, it's a deal breaker. My point is, if you're going to push back and tell me we don't understand the gameplay, and that's why we're criticizing it, I'm like, listen. There are elements I don't understand yet, for sure. But you released really rough gameplay. If you released this and said, hey, this is a super early build, you're going to see some rough edges, you're going to see, it's going to feel a little bit like a technical test, I wouldn't even be mentioning the pop-in. I'm like, well, yeah, they said this was an early build, this was a tech test. But you're like, nah, man, game's ready to come out this year. Yeah, this person clearly doesn't know what in the frick they're doing. They're having a hard time. There they go. So that you've got some pretty basic ball shooting platforming going on here. Does this game have a story? I'm seriously concerned about playability of this game without a meaningful story. This looks like another open world game that's trying too much too quick. Yeah, I said at the beginning, guys, could we get some more likes on the video? We're nearing 500 viewers, and it'd be amazing if we already had 200 likes. If you're enjoying the footage, hit thumbs up. If you like my content, gonna do a little pause here. I'm a safe-for-work broadcaster, so you can subscribe in confidence. I stream all week long, multiple shows a day. A lot of people treat me like a video game podcast. There's almost no dead air on the show, so we are breaking down Sonic Frontiers gameplay. So if you're enjoying the show, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button. We will be covering the Microsoft Extended Showcase later today, as well as looking at the Sony PS Plus upgrade. What's the process look like? What's everything included? We'll be taking a look at that as well. Looks like they dropped Sonic into an abandoned theme park. I think it's unlikely to run well on Switch, but even a PS4 should be able to play this kind of game without pop-in. I don't know, because open world games have always been a struggle on those older consoles, right? Like, when a game is built specifically for the PS4, like The Last of Us, they know all the tricks and all the, all the trickery and all the angles they can use to hide it from you. Open world games are tough, because like Last of Us was breathtaking, and they did a marvelous job making that game run well on a PS4. However, if you take any game like this, you go into this big, huge open areas, you're gonna see that stuff. It's hilarious we've reached a point to me where we're demanding a good story to make a Sonic game tempting. Yeah, I don't necessarily think that I need a good story. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't think I'm looking for like award-winning narrative and voice acting in Sonic, right? Just, pretty basic story. It's the story that's as old as time. The lead character has to stop the maniacal bad guy from doing the bad thing, like that. Mario, Sonic, Ratchet and Clank. It's a story. It's as old as Mario. We don't need. I don't think so. I don't think we need an incredible story. There again was okay. So he went all the way up there. The lack of HUD is hurting this so bad. We don't know what's going on. Are you seeing that? So he goes up here. He goes up here and he hits this and he collects a bunch of stuff. See? He's getting like XP or something. And then he gets all that, and then he gets that. But we don't know. We can't see anything. We need that HUD, man. Where's the heads up display? Like, what in the frick's he doing? What's going on? People still play Sonic games. Who knew? So, can you get a mount? Sonic needs one. He's so slow. He's actually faster in this. Not right now. Don't use this. I love how I'm like, he's actually faster right now. And then he's like, I'll get there eventually. Like, real nice and slow. Oh, the HUD leaked. Okay, how's it look? If you're just tuning in, we're looking at brand new Sonic Frontiers gameplay. One of the developers said a lot of the criticism is rooted in the fact that we don't necessarily understand the game and what open zone gameplay is. I'm happy. I'd love to hear more. Okay, so Barrier has a snapshot of the HUD. I'm not going to show this because I don't know if this is allowed to be shown in a video. Apparently at the Summer Game Fest, somebody was there playing it. So down in the corner, there's like a circle. Down in the where I am, there's like a circle that probably builds up and fills with your rings and your XP. And the other left-hand circle, the left-hand corner, feels like it gets into hang on. Down there it looks like you've got things that can be leveled. You've got your defense, a sword, a ring, and then something else out of 50. Level 1 out of 50. And then up in the corner, it looks like the world, the area has 400 rings and then keys, hearts, and gears that you're supposed to find. So there's gears, there's hearts, there's gears, there's keys, there's hearts, there's all kind of stuff. Man, YouTube viewership is really, really fluctuating. Not sure if you guys are having trouble or having to refresh. If you're having trouble and it's buffering, that is not on my end of things. I am sending a super clean bit rate to YouTube and not having any issues on my end. So I apologize to anybody who's having to refresh. That is not on my end. You can always try lowering quality if it's buffering quite a bit. Sonic having a sword, did we not learn from those Sonic Switch games? I don't think he has a sword. I think the sword represents attack, the shield represents defense, and then there's a ring to represent, like, you know, how fast you get rings, or maybe there's a ring multiplier for collecting them or something. I don't know. I should have clarified. I meant a good story relative to Sonic. I just haven't seen any evidence of a story at all. No main villain, no plot, no guidance. I just wonder how open it is. Yeah, they showed like the opening, like somebody's coming after him and he like runs through this forest and then he ends up in this area. He goes like flies through a portal. It seems like attack, defense, slowing time, and speed. Oh, right. Yeah. Maybe slowing time, yeah. So he has attack, defense, slowing time, and then speed. Yeah, he can level those things up. And then up in the upper corner, he's got 400 rings that he can gather. He's got a gear. He's got a key. He's got hearts. So every area has a certain number of collectible items to help Sonic on his way, you know, level himself up or whatever. Leave the sword gameplay alone. I don't think there's going to be a sword in this. I think the other problem is when you go, I don't want to over-criticize. I don't want to over-criticize. But when you decide to go with robotic or alien-like villains like this, these bad guys, okay? What they end up doing is they lack an identity and they lack character, okay? So when you're playing a game and the bad guys look awesome. So I'm going to use Borderlands as an example. So Borderlands as a game, the villains and the bad guys, they're as much a part of the show, the aesthetic and the display and the excitement as the guns are, right? Because all of them, they all look different and they're all very, very, you know, extreme looking. And so I think when you go this route, everything's sort of metallic and just sort of bland. Like, you don't know, like, I don't know what any of this is. It's just a bunch of lifeless totems and statues. I think that again, that creates this odd juxtaposition stylistically. It's like Sonic has all this character and all this, like, cartoony feel, and you've got him in this world where everything... I literally feel like I'm fighting enemies from another game, like player... Hola, soy de Chile. Hello, welcome. Sorry, inglés solamente. But the world... So it feels like, again, and again, if they explain this in a video, if they explain what's going on, like, is this what this biome is like? And will other biomes feel dramatically different? Right? Well, do you see what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, you can't put, like, robotic, futuristic stuff in a Sonic game, but it ends up being like, there's nothing has any identity, right? Nothing has any identity. They're just these lifeless, bland robots. And again, they almost look prefab. Now, that's not a problem if that's what this place is like. But if the whole game is like that, again, it's just going to feel really odd. It's like, where's the Sonic? Where's the Sonic feeling enemies, if that makes sense? That's just your opinion? Yes, that's correct. Everything I'm stating is my opinion. I'm not, contrary to what you might think, I'm not like an automaton or a robot that someone's controlling or something. Like, I'm speaking my opinion into existence. Your Spanish was super clear and clean. You're invited to the carne asada. Okay, I'll be there. I took it in high school and took a couple trips, so I know... I got a couple things I can say, and that's about it, right? Robotnik has an army of robotic furries. That would have been better. Most of Sonic's adversaries are robots. The only enemy with character is Robotnik. Right? Can somebody find me pictures of their class? Well, what does enemies truly look like? Because, like, I don't know. They all feel like... Okay, I'm going to give you an example. So when we saw the Morbid Metal trailer the other day, okay? Like, look at that. It's just, let's, I'm not trying to be overly critical. It's just a bunch of shapes. That doesn't look, there's nothing, there's no, I don't see anything to it. There's no identity. It doesn't have an identity. It's literally like somebody picked up a bunch of, You know those puzzles where there's all the different shapes and you have to match them? It looks like somebody made a robot out of like, well, I only have so many parts here. Have you ever done that when you're like playing with your kids and you only have so many pieces? And you're like, well, I guess this could be an arm and this could be a leg. Yeah, geometry, attack. Like, it doesn't feel like anything. I don't know. When we watched Morbid Metal and the baddies showed up, there was substance. There was clear identity and definition, not a bland geometric shape. There's nothing there. It's just look, now he's all lit up. You can see him. It's just a geometric mannequin. I don't know. I want to be scared or charmed or angry at the enemies, right? So I either want morbid metal. Yeah, it's Mormon time. I either want to be scared by the enemies, charmed, if they're charming, like sometimes enemies look charming. I either want to be scared, charmed, or or threatened. Like, oh my gosh, that thing's gonna kill me, right? That thing's gonna slice and dice me. I'm not a graphic snobs, but even the gameplay looks bad. Sonic. I think the gameplay looks better. Okay, so it begins and it ends the video with this boss fight. And see, the crazy thing is, it just feels like it's their first run. It just feels like their first try. You know? It's just their first try. They took one thing. They took one thing, they built it, and they're like, that's good enough. We don't need to do anything else with it. Where's his face? Way up there at the top. You can see he's got like a teeny tiny opening there. So he's King Tiny Face, okay? He's coming to get you. Wait, this could be his face down here. I don't know. See those red eyes and like that grin? It's like, this is all my head. It's my hat. I'm the witch of geometry. I need to stop. It just looks so generic. Come on. This is the geometric placeholder because that's not a Sonic boss. It is just rough, man. It's super rough, chat. Oh, that's a hat. Yeah, it's a hat. This is a big old hat. It's a big witch's hat that his arms come out of. Y'all crazy cray cray. That enemy looks exactly like Steppenwolf in the theatrical Justice League. Yeah, it's straight out of Justice League, baby. It's straight out of Justice League. The textures didn't finish loading. Here's where there's promise, okay? I don't want to be a hater. Let's not be hater. Okay, this is so much better than the first look we got. Look at that. That's so much faster, right? You know? So much faster. That's not, obviously. That's, whatever. But then look at how fast he runs! Look at how fast he runs! Let me rewind for those that missed it. Okay, so this tower... All right, we watched footage the other day. It was like a week ago, and it was like he went up the tower like a geriatric. It was like, what is going on? And this feels more true to form to Sonic. This rail grind, so much faster. Now, obviously here, whoever's in charge of Sonic, he loses his momentum, and now, but then look at that. Like, he's so much faster than the first footage that we saw. So we could attribute some of that to the player. The first person to record footage might not have known what in the frick they were doing. They're like, I don't know, I was just trying to go fast, and then they just weren't. It also could have something to do with, your skill. We know down in the corner there's an attack and a defense level. We can't see it, but there's an attack and a defense level down in the corner. There might be one for rings or speed. There might be one for slowing time. And maybe as you level that up, you just get faster and faster and faster. So this could just be early game, slow Sonic, and he's got to get his footing. If you guys are just tuning in and you're enjoying the coverage, let me pause the gameplay. We're doing a breakdown of brand new gameplay from Sonic Frontiers. One of the developers apparently said, we just don't understand the game, that's why we're not enjoying it. I'm pushing back on that a little bit. I am leaving room for them to explain what open zone gameplay is, why that would affect my opinion. I don't know yet. We have yet to hear more detail about what exactly it is. They're going to show us over the coming months. The fans were calling for a delay, and they are basically like, no, this thing's ready to go. This thing is going to ship on time. I am a safe-for-work broadcaster. You can subscribe in confidence. A lot of people treat me like a video game podcast. There's a variety of ways to support the channel. If you like my Miles Morales shirt, it comes from 80s Tees. You can use the shirt command. You can become a member. We're like 20-something members away from another emote unlock. You can gift members. You can buy coffee. All those things are great ways to support the channel. Thanks for being here this morning. I try not to do station identification too much, but when we have lots of viewers that are probably new, I like to let them know what in the world we do here and ways to support the channel. So thank you for tuning in and thank you for joining us this morning. We do a talk show all throughout the week, lots of gameplay breakdowns. Yesterday we did a breakdown of Starfield. That video did incredibly well. And then we did a Diablo 4 gameplay breakdown. Lots of gameplay breakdowns right now. Game is probably going to release in November. Lono, I told you, Izuka doesn't understand his game. Of course we don't. Well, and okay, so this is another one of the parts where, like, I'm trying not to be overly critical, but it feels like the combat is just a bunch of prefab animations, like jump up, kick, 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 kick. Now, see that dash away. Watch. So he does that and he dashes away. Some of this could be, again, the player doesn't know what the frick they're doing, because if you can get in and dash out, I think that's really fun combat. Get in, wham, 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 and then dash out. The rest of the combat, whoever's on the sticks just absolutely plays like a garbage can. Like, they just get smacked around. It looks sloppy and terrible. They don't pick up their rings. They go back in. They run out of stamina, apparently, and they get hit right after an attack. This is about speed. So somebody tweeted about speed. From the gamer's hands on the game, the settings include 12 or so sliders to customize the way Sonic controls. There are 5 different sliders related to Sonic's speed, as well as turning, acceleration, resistance, and more. So what, you can literally just turn the game's speed up, right? So like, I can go right now and I can right click this. Hang on. Let me get the game control. Let me get the video controls on screen. So I can go in here and go to playback speed. I'm going to set it to 2. Can you just do this? Can you just play the game like this? I'm going to stop. People are going to leave. Like, can you actually... Can you, now he looks really slow. Can you, so can you just turn the speed, can you just turn the speed up in the settings and just go fast? Like, what is that? Why would that be a thing? Like, is that might be an accessibility thing, maybe. I don't want to laugh at that. Accessibility is important where it can be implemented, but like, is that... Sure you can. If you want quadruple popping, like, you're just running so fast. You're like, Sonic's breaking the sound barrier. My speakers are gonna blow. Like, turn it down. That was the ugly Sonic version of sound effects. Yeah. You guys remember that growing up? Like, remember what was that? What was that video where the guy was like doing the... You guys remember that video? I was trying to channel that old video. Can you please do that again? How are you playing this? It's a miracle with my mind. No, this is Game Informer's footage. Thanks so much for tuning in. Guys, almost 600 viewers. Smash that like button. If you hit that thumbs up button, it saves kittens from utter destruction, as well as dolphins and cute puppies. So keep smashing that thumbs up button. It saves all the adorable animals of the world. It also helps out my video. The game's soundtrack is just the Flight of the Bumblebee. Just over and over again. I just watched that video last night. Crazy Frog? Is that what it's called? Crazy Frog? Axel F. Crazy Frog. See, I don't remember the name of it. I remember hamsterdance.com, and my friend set like every computer monitor in the high school computer lab to hamster dance. It was like beedle-dee-ba-boo-ba-doo-ba, and like the little hamsters were dancing. He set every single home page on every browser. He was he was such an a-hole. He installed a keylogger on one of the computers so we could get the computer professor's password, and we installed Doom, and we're playing Doom. Like we were high tech, man. We were high tech hackers. You know, man, YouTube is absolutely crapping the bed again today. We just lost like 100 viewers. There's no way that's organic, man. Are people getting buffering again? We had this happen yesterday. YouTube, get it together. I am out here like busting my up every day. I just need you to not be bad. Like, that's all I need. I just need you to work. Bare minimum. Crazy Frog, Axel F, the official video. No, there's a super old video. I don't think that's the one I'm thinking of. They might have taken the audio and done that. No buffering for me. I mean, now you don't lose 100 viewers at once. That's not a thing. It's usually a lot slower than that, unless they just hated my rindin thing. Only cute puppies, though. You have to become a member to help save the ugly animals. That's right. That's right. The cyberspace levels are reused from generations. Some theories say that they are reused because Sonic has lost his memories. Huh. What does the fox say? No offense to the game developers, but this game sucks, says Samurai Gaming. One of the devs said the gamers wanting for the game to be delayed. So they responded in an interview with VGC, and they said that there was calls for the game to be delayed, and they said no. They basically said that the game was shipping this year. They saw no reason to delay it. They said their internal reviews were scoring between 80s and 90s. So I'm hearing there'll be a skill tree to level up Sonic's speed. What does this involve, his regular speed or only the boost? I don't know, Zeno. There has been leaks of the HUD, and down in the corner there was a sword for attack, a shield for defense, something that looked like there was a way to level up speed, as well as maybe a way to level up ring collection or slowdown. Internal reviews. They said they had allowed their target audience, their target demographic, to play the game, and that it was scoring just fine with that target demographic. So I truly don't know. I'm not quite sure what that even means. Like, are they doing, private market research and letting people play it, get their hands on the sticks, and there are people saying, "Oh yeah, it's wonderful. It's a wonderful game." I truly don't know. Let me check on something here. Yeah, we need 25 more likes. I don't know if it's YouTube or what it is, but let's try to get 25 more likes on the video. We just absolutely got our legs chopped off, and I can't figure out why. We're only 45 minutes in. I'm not sure what happened. We might have been on like some kind of a rotator on a front page, and they kicked us off. We've noticed that happens sometimes, and you get about 45 minutes into a stream. So maybe it's not buffering. Maybe it's not YouTube. Maybe we were being featured, and we got done with our 45-minute feature placement. You know what I mean? Because it happened at the 45-minute mark, and we've had that happen before. Oh, you want it delayed? No, you just get it. The official statement. We are happy with the game. You just don't get it. We can't be bothered to go back and fix it. This will work for Sonic fans who love open world zones. If you know, you know. Yeah, they did say they're going to go into more detail about what open world zones are. Or no, not open world zones. Open zone game. It's an open zone game. Versus the movie. The game seems to be more inspired by the movie than previous games. Yeah, I can see what you're saying. So Akuta Papa found like a wiki of all of what the classic like enemies look like, and they almost look like robotic bugs with like eyes. you know, like bugs made from metal. And then the movie, all the enemies look more like something you'd find in Portal or something. And that's kind of like what this guy looks like, right? He kind of looks like something, you know, hyper generic, that doesn't look all that, I don't know. It's hard to explain. It just doesn't look inspired. What terrible feedback they responded with. Okay, so I want to be sympathetic and empathetic to the developer. So from one angle, I 100% understand what he's saying. He's saying, listen, you guys don't necessarily understand what open zones are. Like, we're not doing just like a generic open world game. It's going to be an open zone game. It's like, okay, I'll give you an opportunity to explain that in better detail, to explain like what the content loop's going to look like, what gameplay is going to look like. I'm going to give you that opportunity. I think that's totally fair to not judge that aspect too early, okay? But let's ignore that for a second. The primary source of criticism was not because it was open world and we lack understanding about what an open zone game is. That wasn't what the criticism was grounded in. The criticism was grounded in the fact that it looked like some prefab generic game where Sonic was slow. That's what it felt like. That's what it looked like. It didn't look like a finished product. There was pop-in. There was things that were sort of rough around the edges. That's the issue. The issue isn't like, oh man, here we go. You've now explained open zone game to us. Now the game makes more sense. What's that? No, that's not it at all. Give us what we want, but you cannot have both. No one gives a crap about the developers, what they want the game to be. It's for us, not them. You want to make your dream project as you want it, do so and give it away. You want to sell a product, then give us what we want. I think there's a middle ground in that position, Distorted, somewhere, but I actually understand what you're saying. You're coming from the vantage point of saying the consumer matters. Now, he commented on the consumer. He said that they had done internal testing with their target demographic, and the internal testing and the internal reviews were getting solid scores. If you're just tuning in, it seems like maybe YouTube is stabilizing from whatever that was. Looks like we're kind of back on a climb. We are checking out Sonic Frontiers gameplay, brand new footage. There's a boss fight in here. There's an open world fight. There's some new stuff in here. I do think elements of this look better. So let's take a look at the poll. Take the poll at the top of the chat. Already almost 1,000 votes. Holy moly. We are just cooking again today. Sonic gameplay, new footage. Does this look any better? 80% of you are saying yes. 20% are saying no. I'm actually agreeing with the people that think it looks better. I do think it looks better. But I'm pushing back on the developer and saying, listen, the frustrations, criticisms, questions, and the people calling for a delay is because you released footage that looked like a tech test. It doesn't look ready. It looks rough. There's pop-in. There's a clunkiness. There's animation weirdness and strangeness to the combat. There's animation strangeness and weirdness to even just the birds. There's just a handful of things, I think, that made people think, man, this thing just doesn't look ready. I heard Spark the Electric Jester 3 is coming out soon. If you like Sonic a lot, check out that the first and second ones. I've actually never heard of that. There's a middle ground, but only for people that are actually good. Most developers are not, however. I actually don't think most developers are not good. I don't think so. I think most developers are just fine. I think they need the ample time to build good games. Right? It's like the worst player in the NBA would dance circles around you, right? But they need to be given the opportunity, okay? They need to be given the opportunity. Like, how many times has a second-string quarterback broken out as an amazing star? They're sitting on the bench, and a broken ankle gives them the opportunity of a lifetime, right? I think a lot of developers are just like that. I think they're all perfectly good at what they do. I think they have good ideas, good vision, good concepts. They need ample time to build their games is usually the challenge. They don't lack skill. They're not inept. They're not stupid. It's that they need time. They need time. I also think right now we are in the valley of generation shift. There's a huge generation shift right now where people expect mind-blowing graphics, thousands of hours of gameplay for no money. And I think lots of projects are trying to figure out how they can do that. You're seeing a growing trend. What's the growing trend we're seeing in games, and what do you think's attributing to that, okay? We're seeing more and more games go open world. We're seeing more and more games go live service. We're seeing more and more games go to monetization structures that are ongoing, okay? I'm telling you, we're in this weird generation shift where people want a game to last forever and be as big as the literal globe. And if you don't deliver that, people are like, meh, looks like an indie game, feels like an indie game. I think game developers are trying to hit those markers. They're trying to say, listen, you need a big game, you need a massive game, you need an ongoing game, you need live service, you need a battle pass, you need something to subsidize ongoing support of the game. I think that's happening. I think the developers are trying to respond to the generation shift and trend. Yeah, they also end up very bloated. As a dev, 100%, the amount of times I've had to deliver something I knew wasn't ready because we just ran out of time is incredibly depressing. Did somebody else comment as a dev? I thought I saw 2 comments. As a developer, we need time and good management and direction. That's exactly right. Like, I worked for a small technology company, and the CEO said, it never comes down to skill, almost ever. He said the average developer, the average engineer, he's like, it almost never comes down to skill, training, or intelligence. It comes down to project management. He said project management is everything. He said, we have gotten some of our biggest clients purely because we have better project management. He said, I would get the big company to give me one project, just one, just a little one. He said, we would nail it, and then they would fire their existing tech company. He literally had some of the biggest clients in the city because he would approach a big company, he would prove his worth through project management and good work, and then they would get the big tech companies would get fired. And it was like, he said it's all about project management. He was a real tiny operation. It was him and like 3 other guys. That was all he had. And he had massive, massive clients. And I'm telling you, that translates and scales all the way up to companies with 800 employees to companies with 8 employees. Project management's everything. This is why Hello Games has been able to do what they've done with No Man's Sky. This is why Death's Door sold 100,000 copies its first week. This is why development company size isn't always the trick. Never thought about that, but it makes sense. Right, I want you to imagine getting some of the best engineers in the world and some of the best architects in the world, put them in a room and be like, hey, make a cool building. And they're like, huh? What's that mean? Make a cool building. You guys are all really good at you're great architects, you're great engineers. Make a cool building, design a cool building. They'd be like, well, we need direction, we need art direction, we need vision transfer. What's it supposed to look like? And then you're like, oh, okay, we can do that. So you have vision transfer, art direction. You have some guy come in and talk all about innovative design and emergent technologies and all these stupid corporate words. And then they have a vision, they have a building that they're going to build. And they're like, okay, cool, thanks. Leave us alone. We'll get this built for you. And you come back in a year and you're like, is the building done? They're like, no, it's not done. We're literally in pre-production right now. And they're like, what the frick? And so you end up pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. And then the building ends up being a disaster. Well, you can't turn around and be like, well, it's the skill of the engineers and the architects, when it could have been project management and timeline. It could have been terrible vision transfer. How much time was wasted because the vision transfer and pre-production was piddled away? This happened with Anthem, right? Anthem piddled away 2 or 3 years that should have been prime development time, and they just dunked it in the toilet because they were stuck in pre-production hell. Nobody would decide what the frick the game was going to be, right? That's the issue. It always comes down to those things. Is there any indie games that you like? There's plenty of indie games that I love, yeah. I mean, it's hard to list them all. Ori and the Blind Forest was an indie game when it first came out. That's one of my favorite games of all time. I don't know if we would call Hellblade indie because it's a pretty good-sized studio. That's one of my favorite games of all time. I've played a lot of indies lately that I think are phenomenal. I thought Death's Door was just absolutely stunning, and you should go buy it right now. Sundered is an amazing little hand-drawn Metroidvania-style game with very little rogue elements. Hades is incredible. I'm not even a rogue fan, and I can tell you that Hades is phenomenal. I don't doubt any developer's skill. I'm directly critiquing developers' creativity, ideas, execution. I'm sure most of them are pretty skilled at the actual coding and the art creating. Cane Bridge of Spirits. Yeah, I need to go back and almost play that after the update because it had issues with inputs and issues when I first played it. from a kitchen's point of view, it sounds like too many chefs in the kitchen driving the bus. I mean, no matter they think they need to learn no half-baked games, I'm not going to send out a half-cooked piece of meat. Yeah, SteamWorld Dig 1 and 2 always looked really good. I never got around to playing them, but they looked pretty awesome as well. Hollow Knight's a fantastic little indie. I wouldn't even call it little. It's a fantastic indie. It's awesome. So there's plenty of indie games that I like. I've recorded a ton of first looks. If you've never been here before, we have multiple channels. This is our main live show, right? Let me pause it for you. We're usually in this screen here. We're usually in this scene. This is Reforge Gaming. We're usually in this scene doing a talk show, breaking down topics, having debates and discussions. We have more shows coming today. This was our lead show, wanted to showcase the new Sonic gameplay, ask you guys what you thought, break down the footage. I have other channels as well. This is our main central live hub, but our Reforged First Look channel is going to be getting a steady stream of gameplay, all those demos, all those games announced during Summer Game Fest. We also have Reforge updates where little 4-minute updates hit if you're looking for quick news updates about the gaming world, and then we have Reforge Radio. We end up over on Reforge Radio every afternoon to break down gaming news. This channel is way more, the channel you're on right now is topic driven and gameplay driven. And so we appreciate the support, all the new subs today, all the likes. Perfect time to gift members is when we have this many gray names in chat. If you guys missed the announcement yesterday, we did unlock a new emote and you did hit 1,500 members, so I do have to eat a steak with ketchup. That was the deal. I didn't think we were going to get close to 1,500 members, and yet we did. And so here we sit. We're really getting a great suggest this morning. So if this video was suggested to you and you came in and watched it, thank you for doing that. Decent people are also finding it through search and browse. So if I was on your homepage this morning and you're enjoying this gameplay, you're enjoying my breakdown, my commentary, our discussion, keep in mind I am safe for work. Also keep in mind we are 18 members away from another emote unlock. You guys have gone absolutely bonkers insane with the support. So thank you so much for that. They are, Distorted says, they're good at the technical side of things, but they're terrible at conceding their vision to what we actually want. Stubbornly putting bad things into games because they want it to be what they want it to be. I call this innovation infatuation, Distorted. There are times where you'll listen to developers talk and you can tell they're infatuated with their innovation. Yeah, we tripled the member base in less than a month. Yeah, 13 days and we tripled the dadgum member base. It's going to be pretty tectonic and roller coaster next month when all those people just immediately like fall out of the member pool. So the member number will drop an insane amount next month. The question will be how many of those people decide to jump back in on their own and pay for the membership to, you know, if they've enjoyed the members' content. I think it's the perfect month for it to happen because we've got the big community game night planned for June 24th, 3 days after Fall Guys goes free to play on all platforms. So we again are just absolutely hemorrhaging viewers. I'm not sure what the cause of that is. I don't know if it's because the video has now looped and a lot of people are like, I've seen enough and I'm out, or if it's YouTube acting up. If you're having trouble with YouTube this morning, it's buffering or anything like that, just know that it's not my fault. It's something that YouTube may be doing. It again could just be that every time the video loops, we lose people, which is totally fine. They're wanting to see the new gameplay and see the breakdown, and then they're good and they leave. Yo, what's good, Trill Troll? The Quarry playthrough alone was worth the membership, says Sane. Yeah, $5 a month gets you into all the members-only content, and if you're a brand new member, don't forget you can go back and you can watch those past broadcasts. All the members-only content is in a playlist. No YouTube issues here. Yeah, nobody's saying anything in chat, so I think it might literally just be like when the video loops, people are like, oh cool, I've seen enough, I'm out. Like once they realize we've looped the video, which is totally fine. It's like an 8-minute video. So I'm gonna fall into space when I get Fall Guys. I love it. I'm very, very excited to be able to finally play that game with everybody. That should be a really, really good time. should be a very, very good time. We have so many members. Existing members, if you want to upgrade to Tier 2, we will open up the Fall Guys private server games, the community game night. We will open that up to Tier 2 members first. That is a perk of being a Tier 2 member. You get first dibs during AMA. You get first dibs during community game night. Because as the members just continues to grow, we want to make sure we give that little extra perk. Tier 2 enhances the perks you get at Tier 1, basically. You get 4 perks. Increased access in the Discord, AMAs every Thursday, Madam streams when I stream with my wife on Friday nights, and then community game nights. As a Tier 2 member, you can make us play games on Friday nights. You can throw those in the Discord. You get the premier access to AMA as well as community game night. Will you play Hollow Knight Silksong when it comes out? Oh, of course I will. I'm really, really happy that we now know that game's at least a year away. 12 months and under. 12 months and under, because everything they showed during their showcase is coming out in the next year, and they confirmed that on Twitter. Will Fall Guys be on Android? Fall Guys is releasing free-to-play on every platform except for mobile. It will be on every platform except for mobile. For now, I imagine they'll hit mobile eventually, but they're going to be landing on Switch and Xbox. With cross-play, that's the huge win. I'm going to fall into space when I get Starfield. I know. Yeah. Yeah, Starfield, the gameplay breakdown yesterday was really, really enjoyable. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm back. Redfall Day 1 Game Pass confirmed. How is that news? No offense, but how is that news? You honestly thought Redfall and Starfield weren't going to be Day 1 Game Pass? Like, that's like... I don't know. I'm not saying you're being Captain Obvious, but that feels like something Captain Obvious would say. He'd, like, walk in the room and be like... Do you know what I'm saying? This major first-party title for Xbox. Yeah. I would expect it. We've had no new members today, No gifted members, no coffee orders. Great viewership, great likes, and tons of new subscribers. So let's put some notches on the wall here. Let's get some coffee orders. Let's get some members. Let's get some gifted members. Let's get some more likes. Let's get some more likes. That's a dumb statement. What's a dumb statement? How was it not obvious that Redfall was going to be day one Game Pass? I don't understand. Was that in doubt? Was anybody in doubt about that? I don't know. Starfield's going to be day one Game Pass. Really? I don't know. That doesn't feel. It doesn't feel like. It feels obvious to me. If you guys missed the announcement as well, the coffee is now Reforge Roast. We have redone the bags. I got labels to redo them, so everything's now under the Reforge banner. Oh, Redfall coming to Game Pass is a dumb statement. That's what I'm saying. Like, he said that, like, oh, it's confirmed coming to Game Pass day one. I'm like, yeah, like, no, it's coming. That's what I was saying. I was trying to say it nicer than that, Mo. I was like, what do you mean? Of course. Redfall and Starfield are like the two centerpieces to Microsoft's first-party future. They're like the centerpieces on the table. I'm not trying to be mean. Revive Far. It just felt like yeah. I assumed that. I think I was in a good place to safely assume that. Hang on. I need to schedule the next one for 11. Yeah. We'll schedule for 11 because we could probably go for about an hour and a half, maybe only an hour on the next one. We shouldn't need too long. That'll give us time to go to the Xbox extended stream. We will be covering today. We will be covering that today. Okay. Shooby-dooby-doo. Okay. Next stream will be in a little while. We still got some time left, but it will be about the new PS Plus. We'll be doing a walkthrough. We'll be taking a look at all the features. We've never really done a stream like that, so you guys will have to give me your energy and support. We'll see how it goes. I'm excited to take a peek at it. I haven't upgraded yet. I'm literally going to do it on stream with you guys so you can see exactly what the process looks like. All the games for 2022 and 2023, I'm going to be falling into space. This year's Game of Space. Yeah, I'm wondering why that trend occurred. Like, I don't know. Did everybody, like, look at... I don't want to give No Man's Sky more credit than it deserves, because I do think people are kind of overstating, like, No Man's Sky's impact and comparisons and everything else. But, I am curious, like... Did No Man's Sky's popularity and everybody was so infatuated with it, is that the driver behind this? Like, did a bunch of game companies say, hey, people really want to explore space? You know? I don't know. Showcase isn't for another 2 hours or so. Yeah, in about 30 minutes, we'll shift gears to the PlayStation Plus. We'll show you guys how the upgrade looks, how it operates. And then we'll go over for the Xbox Extended. We'll do that. We'll go over about an hour or 30 minutes early. I thought No Man's Sky flopped hard. It did flop hard, but it was still like an international phenomenon. Like, everybody was talking about it. Even in its failure, it was well known. Does that make sense? Which would stand to reason why everybody got so angry was they were like really wanting a great space exploration game. So even in its failure, it impacted the market. People were like, holy moly, everybody wants to play a game like this. So it has since completely rebuilt itself. It's a totally different game. It's basically like No Man's Sky, the sequel. It's like they built a sequel to their, very rough game when it first launched. Funniest hot take I saw today. Bethesda could have shown us anything with new Starfield footage, and they chose gray rocks again. That's... That's pretty funny. But they didn't just show us gray rocks. They were really lush planets. They were desert barren planets. There was snow-swept planets. I don't agree with that. I know that the initial planet they showed where they spent most of their time, yes. But later in the showcase, we get a great look at the biome diversity and planet diversity in Starfield. What are they showing in the extended showcase? They said there'll be new gameplay as well as interviews and deep dives into stuff they've already shown. So what I'm hoping for is, can we get a deep dive into Redfall, right? I really, really want to know what's going on in Redfall. Still makes me laugh. I wonder, but part of me wonders if that's intentional, Eugene. Like, somebody sniffed that out awfully fast. I wonder why, right? Was that intentional? Yo, there it is. First gifted members of the day. 5 gifted memberships. I kind of like that you guys waited, so now it's like people that have hung and stuck with us and not just the big boom in the beginning. R5, Boozy, Dominic, Nitrous, and Pac-Man on a Bike, and RJ all got gifted memberships. Behemoth, thank you so much for gifting those memberships. That's very kind. Guys, be sure, if you just got a gifted membership, to thank Behemoth in the chat for doing that for you. You get access to members-only content. That pushes us a little bit closer to... we're actually super close to 1,600 members and another emote unlock, which is insane. I think we're like 10 members away now or something. It's like the exact layout. I don't care. It's funny AF. Most of the space games we saw were shooters or horror. That's true. They weren't really about exploration. I guess that's fair. That's fair. No Man's Sky is cool, but it always seems like I'm only looking for materials to stay alive. I guess survival games aren't for me. That was one of the reasons why I shot down a lot of the people acting like, Starfield was just going to be No Man's Sky, because I was like, well, one's an RPG and one's a survival game. The core content loop is going to be dramatically different. Like, my short today is already doing really, really well, basically shooting down that comparison. I'm like, get the frick out of here with this, Problem with exploring space is it's massive. No Man's Sky is good fun for a few hours, but because it's not handcrafted, the worlds all look the same after a while. One side of a planet looks the same as the other side, so exploring becomes boring because you already know you're not going to find anything different. That's demonstrably false with where the game is right now. That's completely and utterly untrue. The planet diversity in No Man's Sky is insane. They made it to where there's way more plant life and animal life on all the planets. They made them to where they actually look really good. I've seen so many incredible planets with almost like Christmas lights baked into the plants. I've seen insane structures growing from the ground that are essentially plant life, and they don't even look like plant life. No, the planet diversity in that game is not how you're describing it. Yes, as you travel from place to place on a particular planet, yes, it's going to repeat the structures, the grass, the plant life, the animal life, because it's a survival game. Like, they want you to be able to land anywhere and get what you need. They don't want you to land somewhere and be like, I got a hoof at 8 miles, there's nothing here. Like, it's a desert with nothing, right? I played 50 hours of No Man's Sky last 2 weeks. I'm saying it's still all the same. To be quite honest, your takes are always extremely negative, so I kind of don't care. Like, I'm not trying to be mean, but you just bring constant cynicism and negativity, and it's just completely untrue that all the planets in No Man's Sky look the same. I've seen so many people submit pictures on Twitter. I've seen so many planets myself. Yes, when you go from one side of a planet to another, it all is very samey, because that's part and parcel to a survival game, right? But I don't know. You get to a point where you see a lot of the same. I remember planet hopping and looking for a Goldilocks planet, and they all looked completely and utterly different. The planets always looked crazy different. I landed on a planet that was black and white with like red. It was so insane. 108 Productions with the 43-cent tip through Super Chat. Thank you for that. I don't know. You come off like a negative Nancy pretty consistently. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't agree with that. A survival game is going to have to repeat and copy paste plant life and animal life So the planet's going to feel the same wherever you go, for sure. But you're also taking out the point, like when somebody said, I just always feel like I'm trying to get materials to stay alive. Okay, but have you dug down and built? Have you built a base? Have you built vehicles? Have you invested in the base with employees, in technology research, in farming, right? Like, have you done any of those things? How about a freighter? How about upgrading your freighter? How about upgrading your ship? Like, if you're basically just playing it like low-level survival, I don't think that content loop is very rewarding. I'm not going to disagree with you there. I'm not going to disagree with you there. I think that the way that game is structured, you have to decide what path you want to be on. Do the Artemis storyline and tell me that game doesn't have great lore. It's not necessarily a campaign like you're going to get in, or side quests like you're going to get in Starfield, but the lore is incredible. There's some great stories there. Where's Tails? No idea. Ian Flynn got quiet when asked if Tangle and Whisper are in Sonic Frontiers. Build a base, upgrade characters, freighters, fleets, piracy, farming, exploration. It's a sandbox. Yeah. I don't like procedural stuff because it feels more like programming feat than a creative one. It doesn't feel planned, created. It feels flimsier. Yeah, but because you're looking behind the curtain and that's your fault. Do you know what I'm saying? That's like watching one of those cake shows where they make these incredible cakes and you see how they get the fondant to work and all of that. You kind of see behind the curtain and it's like, oh, that's how they did that, right? You're the one looking behind the curtain. That's not the game's fault. That's not the game's fault. If you're going to look behind the curtain and, like, let's say you didn't know that, Millington. You know that, but let's say that you didn't. Let's just say you played No Man's Sky, you're just traveling around, you land on some planet, and there's these crazy-looking dragon dinosaurs with wings and a worm in the sky and these giant butterflies. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. But because you know it's procedurally generated, you're looking behind the curtain. There's something to be said for crafted world that's created with purpose. Yes. I'm not going to disagree with that. Yes. There's a giant difference between the intentionality in the created world of Horizon Forbidden West and Horizon Zero Dawn and a game like No Man's Sky. But you're also in a game whose scope and size is staggering. With 18 quintillion planets. Like, it's just staggering. So they're setting out to do different things, and I think that's why I think it's fair. I think it's fair. When I look at No Man's Sky and what they've achieved, it's a technical marvel. It's a game jam-packed with quality. The developers have done nothing but honor the community and their own passion and their own vision. I have nothing negative to say about that game. I think it's being praised a little too much lately. Like, all of a sudden, it's like everyone has short-term memory and they're acting like it's this perfect game and Starfield's just copying it. It's like, Starfield's been in development for a really long time. Just how much do you think they were able to copy from No Man's Sky? Like, oh, the badges look the same. Really? You think those entire skill trees that they built in Starfield, they just copied everything from No Man's Sky, who added expeditions, end of last year? How long Starfield been in development? You think Starfield went back and completely overhauled their skill tree and the skill tree aesthetic because No Man's Sky added these badges to expeditions like 9 months ago? Like, tell me you don't understand game development without telling me you don't understand game development. Like, everyone just looks at a trailer, sees similarities, and is like, yeah, they copied. It's like, did they though? Did they? You think they went and overhauled all their design choices and aesthetic choices because of a No Man's Sky update? Has Sonic lost his memory story-wise? There's a leak that indicates that. Somebody said that. From what it sounds like, Sonic has lost his memory. Yeah. Somebody said that there was like a story leak or something, or somebody said that in an interview. What's No Man's Sky about? Okay, so you can try to get to the center of the universe in No Man's Sky. You can follow the Artemis questline. The Artemis questline is basically you following this path to an alien and the past and learning about the technology and everything that's happened. There's also the anomaly. You can continue to, track the anomaly quest line to feel like what's going on with the anomaly. What is it? What happened? What are all these, things? And so that's one way to play. You can just do straight up exploration and do everything you can to learn the languages of all the people and the factions. And through exploration, you're naturally going to get stronger and better at exploration. Your ship's going to get bigger. Your tools are going to get stronger. There's also crafting. If you want to craft, not crafting in the formal sense of like piecing together something, there's building. So you can build a base and then build a farm and then farm that for resources or money because you can go sell everything. Your farm can get huge. Your base can get massive. You can then build vehicles and other things of that nature. You can get a freighter and have the freighter doing things for you. You can basically become a space pirate. You can buy a ship and really invest in your ship's weaponry and get into space combat if you would like. There's so many. If you look at No Man's Sky, picture there being like 8 boxes. Every box is a different color, and you just pick which box you want to kind of live in, and some of those boxes overlap. The Outlaw update got me to play. Yeah, the brand new Outlaw update. There's a whole new NPC and sort of like mini bounty questline thing you can do and kind of be an outlaw and smuggle goods and all kind of stuff, If you guys are just tuning in, usually we are in this scene. Usually we look like this, having a talk show. Tons of new subscribers today, nearing another great milestone on the channel. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Thank you so much for being here today. Smashing the like button, smashing the subscribe button. We greatly appreciate it. We are staring down the barrel. Oh gosh, my phone's really loud. We're staring down the barrel of 400 likes. Could we get a couple more likes, man? Couple more likes. Let's get in there. They may look similar, but you can make the argument for nearly every game on the market. Starfield is more of Star Out 4. That's what I was trying to push back on yesterday, is to me people are like, well, they just copied Star Citizen, or they just copied No Man's Sky. I'm like, really? How? They took Fallout into space. As far as I can tell, they took the base level systems of Fallout and they took it into space. So please tell me how much they copied No Man's Sky and Star Citizen when the bones of the game, the skeleton of Starfield, is a game that they've built many times. With all these talks of space games, it makes me wonder whatever happened to Beyond Good and Evil. Yeah, that thing's in dev hell somewhere. We have no idea what's going on with that game. Really surprised no one said Outer Worlds. Like, it's made by Obsidian, a company that made Fallout New Vegas. Looks closer to Starfield. Looks much closer to Starfield than No Man's Sky does. Yeah. Yep. I agree with that, actually. I think it reminded me a lot more of Outer Worlds. Yeah. Corey Barlog retweeted this and says, wait, what? Remember that Sony insider pal who said God of War Ragnarok was still on? Well, another Sony insider pal texted me today saying it's no longer locked in and the release date is to be determined. Maybe 2020, maybe not. Corey Barlog literally tweeted that and said, wait, what? As in, that's news to me, as in, Ragnarok's coming this year. Oh, the doubters, the skeptics, the naysayers, the Xbox lickers. You're going to eat your words, and I'm going to love it. I'm retweeting that. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Where's Corey Barlog? Corey Barlog. Wait, what's his Twitter? His Twitter handle is literally Corey Barlog, and I can't find him. Wait, are you sure that's real? Yeah, I couldn't find him for some reason. He has Morse code on his Twitter profile. Does anybody know what that Morse code is? And then he retweeted, and then he responded to his own tweet with the Ryan Reynolds gif smirking. Ragnarok is coming. So ready for folks to eat their words and be silent about this game getting delayed. Ragnarok is coming, hashtag. I'm so tired of hearing from people about it. Like, I'm just so freaking tired. Very much looking forward. Isn't that the guy? Isn't that the guy that said it was DLC and then walked it back? Isn't that the same guy? It is. It's the same guy. It's the guy that said that Ragnarok was DLC and then tried to say that sequels are DLC. Oh, that defense. When he defended the DLC comments, it had the intellectual depth of a thimble. I was like, really? Huh. Yeah, I mean, everybody refers to sequels as DLC. You're exactly wrong. No one does that. No one says that. That's not ever been a thing since ever. Like, no one's ever said, I can't wait to play, Fallout 2. It looks like really great DLC. I can't wait to play Fallout 3, man. It looks like great Fallout DLC. No one's ever freaking done that, man. Horizon Forbidden West, dude. It was such great Horizon Zero Dawn DLC. Is a spider on your wall? I don't know. Wait, is that meant to be like a troll? Hang on a second. So is that supposed to scare me? Is that... Hey, Reforge, like your shirt. Thank you. If you like my Miles Morales shirt, be sure to use the shirt command. I have a spider on my shirt, kind of. Kind of. All right. Let me see how close we are to this emote unlock. I might push it. I might push it myself. Let me just check it. More of a Peter Parker guy, but that shirt's still cool. Thank you. All right, hang on. Doing a check. Doing a checky check. Doing a checky check. We're 13 away. We're 13 members away. What was the next emote unlock we were going to do? Lono Blind? I think we were going to do Lono Blind because I so miss things in games all the dadgum time. Giga Chad. Remember that Red Dead Redemption DLC called Red Dead Redemption 2? Yeah. Some of my favorite video game DLC. Red Dead Redemption 2, Horizon Forbidden West. What are Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart? What else do we have? It's Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, right? It's not a Rift Apart. I always want to put a Rift Apart. Right? Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Okay, cool. What else? What else can we put on this list? Let's make a legendary list here. Let's make a legendary list. Some of my favorite video game DLC: Red Dead Redemption 2, Horizon Forbidden West, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Dark Souls 3. Last of Us. No, I haven't played Last of Us 2. Witcher 3. Yeah, The Witcher 3. Half-Life 2. Half-Life 2. Oh, this is good. This is getting good. Half-Life 2. Ripped Apart. Yeah. I don't want to do Dead Space because that's going to get it. But yeah, Borderlands 2. Borderlands 2. Yeah, Portal 2. Portal 2. Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima is not a sequel. We're making a joke. Oh, love you from India. Hello, hello. Scalebound never even launched. Yeah, Mass Effect 3. Mass Effect 3. All right, I think this is pretty good. This is pretty good. Some of my favorite video game DLC: Red Dead Redemption 2, Horizon Forbidden West, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, Dark Souls 3, The Witcher 3, Half-Life 2, Borderlands 2, Portal 2, Mass Effect 3. Can't wait to play the God of War Ragnarok DLC this year. My favorite new DLC coming out, Ark Survival Evolved 2. Can't wait to play the God of War Ragnarok DLC this year. There we go. There we go. That's a legendary tweet. That's everything. That's all of the greatest sequels ever made. Assassin's Creed 2. Oh, yeah, we should have included Assassin's Creed. Yeah. Oh, my word. Guys, thanks for all the likes. Thanks for all the subs. Really, really appreciate it. You guys are the absolute best. 10 months from Dominic. Welcome back in. That is a 10-month milestone. Like George Costanza, I'm a fan of the double dip. Thank you for double dipping almost an entire year of support. Can't wait to go pick up God of War DLC from GameStop when it comes out. Oh, it's going to be so excellent, dude. The best DLC there. It's going to be the best. It's going to be so good. Ooh. Oh, my. Those were good neck pops. I think I came back at a weird time. Yeah, we were taking it. Okay, so the guy that said that God of War Ragnarok was DLC, like he referred to it as DLC, he basically tweeted today that Ragnarok's release date's unknown. And Cory Barlog, Cory Barlog, who is, he's the CEO, right? Is he the CEO of Santa Monica? Yeah. Can we translate this? Hang on. Morse code translator. Morse code translator. It's pound. It's 3 pounds, 4 pounds. It's nothing. Clean up. EI. I can't tell what his Morse code in his profile is. I was just about to suggest, could we get a neck pop after a tweet like that? It's funny, God of War 2 and 3 were critically acclaimed and didn't stray too far from the original. They were never considered DLC, though. It's just haters. Lono, you have to know who Jaff is. How do you say his name? Jaffe? You have to know who Jaffe is. He's a former Santa Monica dev responsible for the original God of War Twisted Metal. He's gone off his rocker and is basically a pariah in the Sony community. Right, because he basically referred to Ragnarok as DLC, and then when people ripped him for it, he said that it was a compliment, that sequels are DLC. Salty, he's no longer making games like Ragnarok. Did anyone pay for the neck pop DLC? It looks better, says Noah, but I'm not sure I'd play this. It looks way easy to get lost. I actually think this looks better. We're about to see the sequence that kind of convinced me that it looks better. This sequence right here. That's way faster. That's way faster. But this grab, obviously, the person lost their momentum. So that's kind of on the player. But then here, way faster. And again, we don't know that they updated skills, if they just know what they're doing more than the first person that recorded footage. It's just hard to know. Javi just loves to talk crap. Once I saw a video, I'm so excited for this Xbox showcase, I can't sleep. I knew he had lost it. Star Wars The Last Jedi? Stop it. Stop it. Don't forget DLCs like Aliens, Empire Strikes Back, and Terminator 2. Halo 2 was great. Yeah, crying. If you really think about it, Final Fantasy has a lot of DLC. Halo 3 was the best DLC ever. Woo! Neck pop sim incoming. Yeah, where's the chiropractor sim? If you guys are new and just tuning in, you haven't been here before, we've been taking a look at the brand new Sonic gameplay. There's almost 2,000 votes on the poll. If you want to vote in the poll, hit subscribe so you can talk in my chat. We need 7 more subscribers for a milestone. We need 13 more members to unlock another emote. We're hitting all kind of milestones this week, so be sure to join us. Our next stream that we'll be going over to in a few moments will be the PlayStation Plus overview, the brand new upgrade. I'm going to go through it. I'm going to update it. We're going to look at the games. We're going to look at everything that you get. I'm going to go all the way up to premium. We're going to look at the demos, how it all works. That will be a slightly shorter stream than usual. That one will probably be about an hour or a little bit longer because we are going to also be co-streaming the Xbox Extended, the Xbox Game Showcase Extended. They're doing another showcase today, so we'll be taking a look at that as well, and get all of the redirect and the featured things all good to go. We've had another stellar day, another huge viewed video to kick the day off, and we're not done yet. We got way more coverage coming. We have way more coverage coming. Some guy just said, balls in your mom. Okay. I wonder how long it took them to type that. Yo, what's good, Wheezy? I want to change something I said yesterday. I'm happy that the Persona games are coming to Steam. Already own P4G, so the other 2 games dropping there makes me happy. Like, wait. Did you mean to type Steam? Oh, no need for me to get Game Pass. Oh, okay. Okay. I see what you're saying. Xbox can be saltier or PS Plus. Oh, we don't need to call them Xbots. Let's just stop that. People are upset Halo isn't at the showcase to know what they expected. They can't get a season out fast enough. I think they need Halo to stay out of the limelight right now. Halo needs to fix itself. I think holiday this year, I think people are going to be talking a lot differently about Halo. I think it's going to be in a much better place. Yo, Mick DO9. Thank you, Mick. Gifting 5 memberships, guys. Claim them quickly. We're only 13 away from another emote unlock. That pushed us quite a bit closer. That takes us down to only 8 more members. Cable Guy, Kelvin, Symbians, OK, and Curtis all got memberships. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate that very, very much. I keep waiting for people. I wonder if people watch and not logged in. Because we knew we had people watching and paying attention to what we were doing. I've been waiting for, like, names. You know what I mean? They're probably not going to hang out anymore now that you can gift members, or they'll just log out. Can we please stop the bot and pony talk? Yeah, like, I don't like when they refer to you guys as Sony ponies. I didn't like when we were watching the Xbox showcase and people couldn't just have a good win gracefully. They had to be like, suck it, Sony. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, the Xbot thing is just unhelpful. I want both sides to be incredible, and I think we're well on our way to getting that. And I think today we're going to show people that the PlayStation Plus, upgrade is good. I think people are going to be very pleased. Now, there already is that somebody was criticizing something about a certain version of Resident Evil in the Discord this morning, so I'm not quite sure what that's all about. But we'll take a peek here in a moment. You are the doer of moms. Homie, you're selling yourself short. I mean, be an overachiever. What about grandmoms? You know what I'm saying? You're really underselling. You know what I'm saying? Talk about underperforming. You know what I mean? Friggin' weak. Weak, man. You're weak. Let's see. Okay. Let's get this ready to go. Take-Two CEO, PlayStation subscription service is doing it right. Xbox's current model doesn't work. Nerd Mother. Oh no, Nerd Mother's here. Grandmoms are moms. Frick! He's right! He got me with logic! Dang it, that's actually not a bad... That's such a good comeback. Frick. Grandmoms are moms! Man, Nerd Mother says he couldn't keep up. Okay. All right. The studio is working alongside Guerrilla Games on Call of the Mountain. It's also taken as yet another Twisted Metal unannounced reboot. And they're also going to do a AAA narrative-driven horror adventure game in Unreal 5. Huh. He kind of got you? He did! He did! He kind of got me! That was not bad. That was not bad. Grandmoms and moms. That was pretty simplistic, logical comeback. You know? Pretty simplistic. Okay. All right, hang on a second. Let me go into studio mode. Let me go up here. No. There we go. Okay. Let's get our tweet sent. Boy. Somebody just wrote boy on my tweet. I say it to my son all the time, like, boy, you are not ready, boy. Read it, boy. Boy. Remember when you guys thought we made a mistake? Just the Game Awards. Why is Jeff Keighley tweeting that? All right, hang on. Boy. Did you enjoy The Quarry? Yes, my wife and I had a blast with it. Sadly, my wife just completely ruined the end. It's well worth the watch, but she completely jacked up our end, man. She did. PlayStation Plus complete walkthrough. New. Live. Okay. Okay. Sony Shield back at it. Yeah, I spent a whole day defending Starfield, but here I go. Gonna walk through the PS Plus premium upgrade and features. Come watch. All right, so that'll get set. Okay, we'll end this poll. Almost 2,000 votes on the poll, guys. Thank you so much. Okay, this is what we're getting ready to cover and do. All right. I'm going to put a link in chat in case redirect doesn't work. Okay. The new PS Plus complete walkthrough will be in this video. PS Plus Premium is where I'll be upgrading to. We've been covering this and talking about it, debating the value, the price point. We didn't even really cover the fact that Sony went back and updated how they were allowing people to upgrade. People who had stacked a lot of years and months, they actually went and gave them their discounts. They gave them all the benefits. They have made it extremely easy for people to upgrade and switch. completely doing away with any of the price criticisms that I saw. Now, we have had people criticize the game trials that you get at PS Plus Premium. Funny enough, those people at least are being consistent and criticizing the rumor. It's a very good rumor and leak from Tom Henderson that Microsoft will be doing the same thing.